Mario Kart is the biggest kart racer on the planet. The biggest racing game franchise on the planet, in fact. There are wacky items, colorful characters, and fun tracks. What's not to love? Wario is not to love. But the franchise really wasn't the cultural phenomenon it is today until 2008, when Nintendo launched Mario Kart Wii for, well, the Wii. The Wii was already huge thanks to the focus on casual play and huge games like Wii Sports. The combination of Mario Kart and Wii was bound to happen and bound to rake in the dough. Yeah, it's safe to say this game was destined for massive success. Oh, I got a flaming hot take coming up for you here. I like Mario Kart Wii. I know, bold statements only on this channel. In fact, there is quite the debate on whether Wii is the best entry in the Mario Kart series, and I think its resurgence in popularity in the past few years is in part the result of people like me reaching young adulthood and becoming nostalgic for it. When Mario Kart 8 released in 2014, the big nostalgic heart pull at the very end of the game was Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 64, released in the 1990s. But by the time the final wave of the Booster Course Pass, the final DLC for the game, dropped in 2023, that nostalgic ender is now Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii. And I think that's a super interesting result. Not only for how damn long Mario Kart 8 went on for, but also how Mario Kart Wii has become the poster child of nostalgia for naughty's Nintendo kids. That could have been Double Dash, but then nobody bought a GameCube. They were basically paying you to take one. Mario Kart Wii was one of the first video games I ever played, and I do want to honor the impact it's had on my life, but I will be taking an objective lens to this game. Is Mario Kart Wii truly the greatest in the series, or is my generation blinded by nostalgia for an ultimately overrated game? I'm excited to find out. I won't be using the Wii wheel though, I'm not a savage. At its core, Mario Kart Wii is it's just Mario Kart again. You have karts, and also bikes now, you collect items, and you race around zany tracks. The tried and true formula works, but there are some changes, such as the introduction of pain! Motion controls. Nintendo was pushing motion control big with the Wii. It was one of its main selling points. So naturally Mario Kart Wii uses this control scheme. They even introduced the Wii Wheel, a purely cosmetic addition to the Wii Remote that makes driving on rainbows feel realistic. It's admittedly a kind of dynamic way to race. It's almost immersive in a way. You can tilt the wheel to steer and shake it to perform tricks. As part of the whole motion control shtick, there are now two types of drifting, manual and automatic. No, just choose manual. It's the traditional Mario Kart experience and far better for racing. As a dumb stupid fucking kid, I'd always choose automatic and then wonder why I lost against anyone who actually knew how to play Mario Kart. I still did okay, I had a good time, but it meant that I didn't really learn the fundamentals of drifting until Mario Kart 7 and 8 forced me to. Thankfully, automatic drifting never returned, so my nightmares are safe. For now. In order for a Mario Kart game to be truly amazing, the track selection has to be stellar. And I think this is one of Mario Kart Wii's strongest suits, and a big part of why it's remembered so fondly. DS previously introduced the concept of retro tracks, but being on a home console allows Wii to take 16 exciting tracks from games past, combined with some of the most creative and fun new tracks in the series, to deliver perhaps the single most consistent lineup of tracks in the entire series. There's just so many iconic new courses in this game. There's the colorful chaos of Coconut Mall, the chaotic twists and turns of Rainbow Road, the Mushroom Gorge of Mushroom Gorge, and the stunning aesthetics of Maple Treeway. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. To get to the Maple Treeways of Mario Kart Wii, you have to live with him. Luigi Circuit is, Luigi Circuit. This is by no means a memorable track, in fact probably one of the most forgettable starting circuit tracks. Still, it does the job of introducing the gameplay and being a first start for beginners, so fine. Moo Moo Meadows is charming and simple. There's nothing super crazy about this track, but it has a fun layout and someone at Nintendo must love it, because it just won't off! Mushroom Gorge is super fun and definitely the most difficult of the Mushroom Cup, adding a little spice of challenge with those bouncy mushrooms. Look, I'm not saying you have to be Einstein to win at Mushroom Gorge, but as an 8-year-old playing this game, Mushroom Gorge definitely did take a little bit of time to master, especially compared to, you know, Luigi Circuit. Toad's Factory is the greatest Mario Kart track of all time. The music, the conveyor belts, Toad's various label law violations. It's a wonderful track, and I honestly didn't realize just how many other people loved this track until it didn't appear in the Mario Kart Tour game or the Booster Course Pass. Clearly it had an impact on a lot of people. Thankfully it saw its return in Mario Kart World and we all rejoiced. Starting off the Flower Cup is Mario Circuit. Sure, we already had Luigi Circuit, so this one really is just here for tradition, and it's alright. I honestly think that Mario Circuit should have been the opener for the Mushroom Cup, because, well, it's nothing crazy still, but there is some interesting stuff going on, like the Chain Chomp and the Goombas. Since all the game's endings take place here, this is definitely one of the most iconic and, as such, nostalgic tracks. Oh, you saw this one coming. Coconut Mall is probably the most iconic track in Mario Kart history. Well, except for Rainbow Road. A shopping mall is such a mundane but genius idea for a kart racing track. With bouncy music, speedy escalators, Mies who just cannot park, and so many more fun and unique ideas, elevating this track above the rest in the minds and memories of the players. Mario Kart Wii's second half has a lot of strong tracks, but Coconut Mall really stands out from the first half and deserves all of the flowers it gets. Oh, I see why it's in the Flower Cup now. DK Summit, or DK Snowboard Cross on this side of the pond for some ungodly reason, is alright. Yeah, I was never crazy hot about this track, so its return in the 8 Deluxe DLC didn't really excite me all that much, but I can at least appreciate the skip potential and the snowboarding Shy Guys. Wario's Gold Mine is an absolute nightmare of a track, and I love it! This is the place where siblings go to war and friendships are ended. It's a chaotic mess that is so quintessentially Mario Kart that I can't help but adore it. I don't even know how this made it into the second cup in the game. This is a track that I really didn't expect to come back, but boy was I happy when I got my hands on the 8 Wii U DLC and saw it on the track list. Daisy Circuit is, well, it's really just another circuit track. We're 3 for 3 at this point, but this time at sunset. It gets Aura points for that. The track isn't hugely memorable to me, but the music and the vibes are nice. Plus there's this little staircase shortcut that I've always loved. Cooper Cape is another icon of a track that I have such fond memories for. It's unique, it's incredibly fast and fun, you got the electricity going along with the pipe and the water speeding you up, and the half pipes and the big Koopa shells. It has a banging soundtrack and I love it so much. Back to back with another icon in Maple Tree Way, an autumnal forest with giant wigglers and wacky shenanigans. Just like Coconut Mall, Nintendo's designers struck gold with the design and layout of the track. It's not super gimmicky, but the gimmicks that are here are fun and used sparingly to keep this track fresh every time you come back. The Start Cup ends strong with Grumble Volcano, which I actually think is much more fun in Mario Kart 8 than it is in this game. Grumble Volcano's mainstay notability comes from its insane speedrunning shortcut that involves going around a single rock. You see, a lot of Mario Kart Wii's tracks are incredibly broken and exploitable by speedrunners, but perhaps none more than Grumble Volcano. Dry Ruins? Yep. Okay, I don't hate this track, I just find it incredibly forgettable, and I think it's probably the weakest track in the game. Some might say it's, a little bit dry. Moonview Highway is one of the most underrated city tracks in the series. It's absolutely stunning, and forcing your friends into oncoming traffic has never been more fun. There is this really long straightaway in the middle of the track that I think threatens to take it down a notch, but there is just so much to see in the glimmering cityscape, and there's the boost pads, the bomb cars, and everyone racing through with their items. It can still be a really good time. Bowser Castle is, well, it's pretty much the same as any other Bowser Castle. However, it does have lava geysers, wavy roads to trick on, and a big old Bowser statue, so I find it quite memorable. This is by no means an insane Bowser's Castle, or even the best in the series, but it is great. Oh, and the music is like funky. I don't know who they got in the studio, maybe it was Bowser himself, but oh damn, it hits! Wii Rainbow Road perfectly encapsulates the absolute chaos that is Mario Kart Wii, and it's probably straight up the most diabolical Rainbow Road in the series. There are crazy turns, huge holes to avoid, and rarely will you see a guardrail. I would always make my friends feel terror on this track every time we played this game. Yeah, they don't like me now. I don't think it would be particularly brave to say that Wii has one of the most challenging Rainbow Roads in the entire series, and I love it for that. I love that aspect of it. The retro tracks are a solid selection overall. No insane picks, but some solid choices overall, with some tracks like DS Delfino Square feeling, in my opinion, better and more at home in this game than they felt in their original titles. There are certainly some questionable retro track choices, but I get that there wasn't a huge amount to go on from previous games, and that they had to choose 4 from each previous game. But at the same time, was Double Dash Mario Circuit really a necessary return? Oh, and thank God they brought back Yoshi Falls. No Mario Kart game would be complete without power-ups, and Wii has some. The basics are all here, from your mushrooms to your bullet bills and about 800,000 blue shells per race, but the 3 newcomers are by far the most interesting. First is the Mega Mushroom, which grows the player to a gargantuan size and lets them squish the competition, whilst giving you an extra hit against certain items like lightning bolts. Oh, and it's got this funky, groovy track playing in the background. What's not to love? It's super fun, and frankly it is a crime that it took 17 years for this thing to come back again. Then there are the other ones. The Power Block and the Thundercloud are more powered downs if anything, and I do not miss them. I mean, you get the Thundercloud, it'll literally hurt you if you don't pass it on, like a hot potato, and the Power Block is just kinda useless. It will stun everyone in front of you, but you can also dodge the blast by just jumping. There's another reason not to play an automatic. You can't jump. Mario Kart Wii also introduces its fair share of characters and karts to use. Ignoring the glorified daycare, the cast is much larger than previous entries and offers a strong range of fan-favorite Mario characters to use, fitting neatly into 3 weight classes that all have unique karts and bikes to use. And some of these kart designs, they're really awesome. I love just how inventive they got with the kart designs in this game. Oh yeah, this game has bikes too. Easily the superior and more fun mode of transport in this game and subsequent entries, and I've never really looked back at the karts. That's all I have to say about them, really. Some of my favorite memories of this game are finally getting a star rank in a cup and hearing that iconic jingle as I unlock a new character or kart piece. Oh, it's like molten gold in my ears. This game also introduces the Mii as a playable character, a very cool addition that really solidifies the family dynamic of this game, as you can now quite literally race your friends and family as yourselves. Honestly, I think that this wholesome family game time dynamic is a big reason why so many people loved Mario Kart Wii in their childhoods and look back on it now so fondly. That multiplayer aspect is where Wii really shines. The game supports local split screen with up to 4 players, or until 2014 you could hop into the Mario Kart channel to race people all across the world online. There were even these super obscure tournaments to play, including some exclusive content that just doesn't exist anymore. Surely, Mario Kart Wii was the first live service type game. Unfortunately, with the discontinuation of the Nintendo Wii's online service in 2014, it became impossible to play Mario Kart Wii and its tournaments online. Or did it? Mario Kart Wii is very strong in the modding and speedrunning scenes, leading to fan-run online services being set up to keep playing online. With a little redacted legal activity, it is entirely possible to play Mario Kart Wii online with full lobbies to this day, and there are hundreds of custom tracks, characters, and other mods out there to play, including huge packs that add quite literally thousands of custom tracks on top of the base game. It's kinda wild that a game released in 2008 exclusively for the Nintendo Wii still has such a wide and passionate community after well over a decade, but also super inspiring and cool. It's a real testament to the sticking power of Mario Kart Wii. No game is without flaws, and that includes Mario Kart Wii, and I think the most dated part of this game is unfortunately one you can't look past, because it's how it looks. Mario Kart Wii is nicely stylized, it runs well on the Wii, and it's bright and colorful in true Mario Kart fashion. It just looks not that great. Even by 2008 standards, the graphics are all plasticky and hazy. Everything is shiny and blurry, and the character models are way less detailed than in Double Dash on the GameCube in 2004. I don't think it comes down to hardware issues either, as Super Mario Galaxy released in 2007 and looks absolutely stunning. But here, Moo Moo Meadows looks like the Windows XP wallpaper, and that's kinda beautiful and nostalgic in a liminal sort of way, but it is also absolutely dated, even by the standards of when it released in 2008. It's just so weird how the visuals are kind of a step down from the previous home console entry, and I'm not really sure why, although ultimately it doesn't matter that much. This is Mario Kart, the visuals aren't the be-all end-all, it's just odd. It didn't bother me as a kid, but looking back, especially with how great Mario Kart 8 looks, it just kinda takes me out of it. Mario Kart Wii is not a perfect game. I love it with all of my heart, I truly do, but I do not believe it to be the greatest entry in the series as many people of my age claim it to be. I think that belief is not unfounded. Mario Kart Wii did a lot right. It introduced some of the greatest tracks in the series, it has a wide roster of really solid characters, and for a time, it had one of the greatest early online gaming experiences. It kinda sucks that mission mode is essentially lost forever through official means, but I don't know, how often did you actually play missions instead of just regular races? Mario Kart Wii has one of the most quintessential and chaotic Mario Kart experiences of all, and I think, to an extent, it still holds up well today, even with the newer entries in the series, which is why it has formed such a large and passionate community over the years. I certainly cannot blame people for wanting to go back and play it again, or just straight up sticking with it over the years. This game is batshit insane, and I do love it for that, but I know that getting spammed with blue shells every game and all manner of other things just isn't for everyone. Plus there are obviously other drawbacks, like the visuals. However, the music is not one of them. The music is fantastic, damn near every track is just instantly iconic. Even if you haven't played this game in over a decade, I am certain that you have picked up on some of the music tracks you've heard as I've been talking. So, is Mario Kart Wii overrated? Well, kinda. Like I said, it's a good game, but I think a lot of the reverence people hold towards it today is largely based on nostalgia, and not actually playing it again and appreciating it through a modern, honest lens. And I mean, come on man, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is right there. I have always loved this game, and it will always bring me such joy and comfort. I wholeheartedly believe it to be one of the best Mario Kart games in the series, but when 8 Deluxe and World exist, I just don't feel the need to go back to it very much anymore. Then again, Mario Kart Arcade GP DX exists, so into the trash they all go!